Hey mathematicians, let's do your homework. Okay, so this homework is about multiplying and dividing rational numbers, so fractions, decimals, all that good stuff. Okay, Marty worked for 19.5 hours last week. Ooh, that's a lot of working. He earns $8.50 per hour. Per hour means every hour. 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 19.5 times. So we are going to multiply 19.5 times $8.50. And actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm not going to write that whole thing out. I'm just going to write the 8 and the 5 because when it's after a decimal point, I can drop any zeros at the end. So you're going to multiply that out and get your final answer. Don't forget to put a decimal point in 2 spaces from the end. 2 bicycle trails were developed in a new housing development. One trail is 3.5 miles long. The other trail is 3/4 as long as that. That means that we are going to multiply these two together to find the length of the second trail. So we got 3.5 times 3/4. I can't multiply mixed numbers, I need to change it. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. I'm going to do 7 halves times 3/4. That gives me 21/8. Okay, now I'm going to change that into a mixed number again by dividing. Numerator in, denominator out. 8 goes into 21, 8, 16, 24, too big, 2 times. 16, with a remainder of 5. So our answer is 2 wholes, that comes from this 2. 5 parts, that comes from this, out of 8. So our answer is J. What is the value of 15/3 times 8/5? You are going to multiply straight across, 15 times 3, 8 times 5, and then simplify your final answer. Which expression has a value greater than 3/4? I've got 3/4 times 2/3, 3/4 times 3 halves, 3/4 times 1 half, 3/4 times 4/4. Okay, just as a quick example, what's 6 times 1? That's 6. When you multiply times 1, you get the same exact number. So if I have 3/4 times 1, it's going to equal 3/4, which is not greater than 3/4. Which of these fractions is the same as 1? It's this one. So if you multiplied this out, you would get 12/16, which then you'd divide by 4s. Oh, look, it's like you're dividing by these 4s, and it would get you back to an answer of 3/4. This is not greater than 3/4. What happens if I say 6 times 2? A number that's bigger than 1 gives you an answer that's bigger than the number you started with. 6 times 1/2 is 3. When you multiply by something smaller than 1, you get an answer that's smaller than what you started with. So I do not want smaller, I want bigger. So I'm looking for which of these 3 fractions is bigger than 1. 1/2, that's not bigger than 1. 3 halves, 1/2, 2 halves, 3 halves is bigger than 1 whole. 2/3, that's not bigger than 1. So our answer right here is going to give you an answer that's bigger than 3/4. And the nice thing is that I don't actually care what it is. I didn't ask you what's the answer. I just said which one would get an answer. And I solved it with logic instead of having to do 4 multiplication problems that I'd then have to simplify. Last one. Margie walked 3.75 kilometers on Tuesday. On Wednesday morning, she walked 1.2 times as far as she did on Tuesday. How far is that? How far did she walk? 3.75 times 1.2. Notice I do not need to stack my decimals when I'm multiplying. That's only for adding and subtracting. So you're going to multiply this and move your decimal 1, 2, 3 places to find your final answer.